Good day, friends. So exciting to come back your way this afternoon. Rainy afternoon in Manassas, Virginia. I hope you are doing great. Today we have, as usual, some exciting news to share with you. So today we're going to be talking about, some news, some U.S. immigration law news that you might want to hear about, especially for green card holders. The latest concerning green card holders. As usual, we're live on TikTok, we're live on YouTube, we're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and on Instagram across the social media channels. So don't forget to subscribe to this page, follow this page so that you can get all our notifications once we come on live. Okay, so yeah, we share exclusively news. I'm getting a call from a very strange number. Okay, so I disconnected that call. Let's continue. So today we're going to be talking about the latest news that USCIS released a few days ago. We shared the news across our social media channels. So if you're a green card holder and you applied for, if you're a 2-year green card holder, I should say, or a conditional green card holder, meaning you have a 2-year green card or your green card is valid for just 2 years, then you want to pay very close attention to this. Okay, USCIS just released the news that if you filed the application or an application to remove the conditions from your green card, then your extension will now be valid for 4 years. 4 years, that is 48 months. From the date of the expiration of your green card. So we'll go, don't worry, we're going to break it down very simply so that we can all appreciate what we're talking about. And I'll be sharing my screen with you momentarily. So stick with us and please don't forget to share the live video. Share it with your friends, your church mates, your workmates, your old school mates. And let's get into the meat of the news. Okay, so let me share my screen. What's going on here? Okay, perfect. Okay. I think I just shared it on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. Okay. So USCIS is extending green card validity for conditional permanent residents who have pending forms I-751 or form I-829. We're going to be focusing more on the form 751 because the 829, those are petitions by investors to remove conditions on their green cards. Not that many people are actually affected by that. So we're going to be discussing the extension of the green card validity for conditional green card holders. Okay. So first of all, who is a conditional green card holder? So a conditional green card holder is someone who has actually been given a green card that's valid for just 2 years by the, let me see what's going on there. Okay, by the US government. Okay, so you have a 2-year green card by the US government, then you are a conditional green card holder. So there's 2 types of green card holders. We have conditional green card holders and we have unconditional green card holders. So the conditional green card holder, the card is valid for 2 years. The people who are not conditional green card holders, their green cards are valid for a period of 10 years. There's no difference between the 2 types of green card holders or green cards. The only difference is the period, the time period. This one is valid for 2 years, the other one is valid for 10 years. Now, if you're a conditional green card holder, it usually means that your marriage was less than 2 years at the time it was approved by US immigration. At the time you received your green card, the marriage upon which your green card was granted, the marriage was less than 2 years. If your marriage is more than 2 years at the time your green card is granted, you're given a 10-year green card. So in the past, if you were approved for a green card, then you were going to get a 10-year green card straight up. But the U.S. immigration said, hold up, hold up. There's a lot of fraud going on. There were lots of fraudulent marriages. So they decided to bring this extra hurdle, which is a conditional green card, so that after 2 years of being a conditional green card holder, you will file 90 days before the expiration. You'll file to remove the conditions on the green card, because normally this green card is granted in marriage. And they just want to make sure that after 2 years, you guys are still together. It's still a valid marriage. You're able to prove that the marriage is, the time you entered into the marriage, it was truly a valid and bona fide, a true marriage. Okay, so now, in the past, well, before COVID, I should say, if you filed a conditional green card application, a removal of condition, if you filed an application to remove the conditions from your green card before COVID, the extension was for 12 months. You would get an extension for 12 months of your expired green card. So once you filed that application, they'll send you a receipt notice. U.S. Immigration would send you a receipt notice telling you that, hey, we've received your green card application, the removal of conditions application. And by this receipt notice, you can extend the lifetime or the lifespan of your expired green card for an extra 12 years. So your green card was automatically extended. The life of your green card was automatically extended for an additional 12 months from the date of the expiration of your green card. Now, last year, U.S. Immigration said, look, we can't take it anymore. We are drowning in overwhelm. We're still not able to adjudicate these cases within 12 months, so we're giving you guys an additional 12 months. So now, once you filed an application to remove the conditions from your green card, then U.S. Immigration would extend the lifespan or the validity of your conditional green card for an additional 2 years, 24 months. And now, just a few days ago, I believe this was released on, was it Monday? Probably on Monday, 23rd. This week, U.S. Immigration said, okay, now we are really drowning in overwhelm. We just cannot keep up. We're going to extend your green cards for 4 years, an additional 4 years. So 4 years from the expiration of your actual green card, so that you don't bother us anymore with asking for updates and telling us that your green cards have expired. These people are just causing a lot of work. Like, I have no idea why they don't just extend the green card for more time, because it's just very interesting. You have someone, you approve a green card for someone for 2 years, and the extension is even more than how long the card is for. So why don't you make the green card validity longer? Why don't you extend it for a longer period? It's just very, very strange. Okay, so now let's go into the actual release, the policy update. So it says USCIS is extending the validity of permanent resident cards, also known as green cards, for petitioners who properly file Form I-751 petition to remove conditions. Okay, so it has to be a properly filed petition to remove conditions in order for you to benefit from the extension, the 48-month extension, or for the 4-year additional extension of your green card. Okay, so it says so they are extending the validity for those who filed the I-751 for 48 months beyond the card's expiration date. Now, this change will start on January 25th, 2023 for Form I-751. Let me see today's date. So it's starting actually today. So the change is starting today for conditional green card holders. They're extending the validity of your card for an additional 4 years from the date of the expiration. I'll be answering questions soon, so please bear with me. We're making this change to accommodate current processing times for Form I-751. And the processing times have increased over the past year. Very unfortunate, because I-751s are actually they take the longest time to adjudicate, because they normally want to conduct investigations into marriages. They want to, do house visits, home visits. Though you are there, they'll knock on your door at 6 a.m. just to see who's in your bedroom, what items are there, whose pictures are there. They call your workplace, they call people who know you, they check federal agency documents and database just to see, do you guys live at the same address and things like that. So this takes a very long time to adjudicate. Okay. So now processing times have increased, unfortunately. So once you file the form I-751, that means that you have to chill out or rest for at least 4 years before you can hope to hear from them. Because all they're trying to tell you is that, look, don't bother us for the next 4 years. We've extended your green card for an extra 48 months or 4 years. So just use it to work, use it to travel until we can make a decision on your green card. Now, what USCIS is saying is that they've actually updated the language on the receipt notice to reflect that, okay, your green card is actually valid for an additional 48 months from the date of the expiration. Okay, so they're going to, please note also that if you've already filed your 751 form, they are actually going to send you new receipt notices to reflect the extension. These people have a lot of time and they're just wasting it on all these things. I have no idea why they didn't extend it the last time to 4 years. They should have done that rather than, offering these extensions in piecemeal. And then they have to now send to millions of people. And it's taking away from their time when they could be spending this time actually adjudicating these petitions. Okay, so we'll issue receipt notices to eligible conditional permanent residents who previously received notices with an extension shorter than 48 months and whose cases are still pending. If your case has been denied, they're not going to issue you with a green card, with a new receipt notice. But if it's if your case is still pending with them, then they're going to issue you with the new receipt notice. Okay. So keep an eye out in the mail for that. These receipt notices can be presented with an expired green card as evidence of continued status while the case remains pending with USCIS. By presenting your updated receipt notice with your expired green card, you remain authorized to work and travel for 48 months from the expiration date on the front of your green card. Okay, so guys, let me give a practical example. Let's say your green card expired in 2021. 90 days, your 2-year green card. 90 days before the expiration of the 2-year green card, you applied to US immigration to remove the conditions on the green card. So 2021 December, your green card expired. Now, what they're saying is that green card, despite the fact that it expired in 2021 December, you can continue to use it along with your new receipt notice up until December 2025, an additional 48 months or an additional 4 years. So that green card, although it says expired December 2021, if you have the receipt notice extending the validity for an extra 48 months, you can use it to work and travel. So if you go to work and they're like, well, your green card has expired, you add the green card plus the receipt notice showing that the green card that expired in December 2021 is now valid until December 2025, and then you will be fine. Now, USCIS adds another reminder. It says, as a reminder, conditional residents who plan to be outside the US for a year or more, you always have to apply for a re-entry permit. That's by filing the form I-131 before you leave the US, okay? Because if you leave the US and you spend more than 1 year outside, then you can be deemed to have abandoned your green card, and that could cause problems for you. I hope this is clear. If you guys have questions, please feel free to drop them. I don't know if you guys saw me rambling in the beginning. I'm very exhausted, so please forgive me. We've had back-to-back consultations today. Okay, so we have, yes, please drop your questions and comments. Let me take this off from LinkedIn YouTube. Perfect. And then I can read some questions and comments from you guys. So on YouTube, Kwame says, hello. Hello, Kwame. How are you? Mr. Francis Gab, well, I can't read this name. Opoku Vardi says, okay, he's tagging a couple of people. Mr. Francis Gabin says, okay. Then we have Mohammed Cousin says, okay. You guys are very welcome and thank you so much for joining this live video. Now, let me see if we have some questions on Instagram that we can answer. Hassan Mohammed on Instagram says, what is the easiest way a U.S. citizen can bring in a foreigner? By filing a petition for them. You can either file an immigrant's visa petition or a non-immigrant's visa petition for them. You can help them to file that. Now, if you are a U.S. citizen, you can file for your spouse and all your children, whether they are married or unmarried. You can file for your parents. Now let's go through the breakdown. First of all, as a US citizen, you can file for 3 categories of people known as the immediate relatives. The immediate relatives, there's no wait time for their visas. That's the parents of US citizens, spouses, that's husband or wife of US citizens, and minor children of US citizens. Now, under the preference immigrants category, you can file for your siblings. Well, F1, you can file for your unmarried children, unmarried sons and daughters. And then you can also file under F3 for your married sons and daughters. That's a US citizen. Then lastly, you can file for your siblings as a US citizen. Okay. All right. Hassan said she was talking about adoption, but I don't know if that will work. Contacts as adoption, you can either use the orphan route, the Hague Convention route, or the I-130 route. It depends on the country the child you want to adopt is based in. Okay, so we can help you. It's quite complex. Kesiwa says, hi, how long after marriage can you start the immigration process? If you get married at 2:37 p.m., which is my time now, you can file an immigration process 2:38 p.m. If you get married 2:37 p.m. 1 second, you can file an immigration application 2:37 p.m. 2 seconds. Okay. All I'm saying is that there's no stipulation in the laws as to how long you have to wait until you file an immigration process based on a marriage. What regulates the filing of this process is that the principle of the law of the place of celebration. The marriage only has to be valid in the place it was celebrated. Okay. If it's valid there, then it doesn't matter how long. There's no timeline. You can file immediately you get married. All we need is a marriage certificate. And of course, to prove that the marriage is bona fide. But there are ways to do that even for very young and early marriages. And then normally, we're able to use things you had when you were dating, or that they're just ways to go around it, because the legal standard is to show that at the time you entered into the marriage, it was a bona fide marriage. And then also, by the time you're scheduled for an interview, which could be like a year or 2 years down the line, the marriage would have evolved, and so we'll take updated documents to demonstrate that the marriage is bona fide. So there's no timeline. Anytime after marriage, you can start the process. Priska Grant says, if you file for an IR1 and you have been documentarily qualified for 16 months, what can you do? It depends on the country you're based. If you're the beneficiary, what country are you based in? It depends on how the case is processing. That's when I'll be able to give you an idea of when you'll be called for an interview, depending on the consulate or the foreign state of chargeability, which is on your CAC portal. Okay. Okay, let's see on TikTok. On TikTok, we have Anthony Lazalo who says, Anthony Lazalo says, applied EAD renewal after expiration. This can harm pending VAWA and VAWA approval for green card 45. No, 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 it won't harm you. That's fine. If your EAD has expired, you can apply for an extension. It's still fine for your VAWA. Guys, VAWA is an abused green card. It's for abuse victims, Violence Against Women Act, and we love those cases around here. If you want to file those cases, contact us, and then we'll review your eligibility and assist you to file a very strong petition. So no, that will not affect you. If Fanyin Makeup says, I want to file for my one and only sister. I heard it's going to take up to 10 years, actually more. Currently taking up to 14, 16 years just for a visa to become available. So probably longer. Of course, down the line, things could progress and so wait times could become shorter. But the earlier you start, the better for you because, that shortens the wait time. So if you want to file for her, please go ahead and start. Because you see, the good thing about this is that once you hold on, guys. I need to message my assistant now. I see that there's something they are doing. Okay, so once you file for you file a sibling petition. Your sibling is going to be able to come with their family members, their spouses and children. So it's great because even if it's not your sibling or like your sister or your brother that directly benefits from it, because maybe sometimes I get people that get so discouraged. Maybe your sister is, let's say, 30 years old. By the time he gets here, maybe he'll be 48 years old. That's still fine because he could have children who are now 14 at the time, or 15 or 18, and they could benefit from being green card holders and then eventually becoming US citizens. So I tell them, don't worry about the timeline. Put in your application and let things flow. Let things follow the course that's supposed to follow. And then once the application gets approved or progresses, your family members and generations after you will benefit from it. Okay. Okay, guys. I still see a bunch of questions on TikTok. The TikTokers have a lot of questions. Let me see if we can answer some of them. Joseph Thapa says, I had an I-485 interview on March 2022. No decision yet. What can I do? It depends. What type of green card application was this? And how did the interview go if it was a marriage base? Normally, that's not good news because once you go for the interview, you should either have if everything goes well, they'll let you know that it went well, and then they'll send you the green card. You'll have an approval there, and then they'll send you the green card. Or they want to do more investigations, or there's something they're not comfortable with or sure about. So I have no idea. Contact us and then we can look into it and assist you much better. Let me see. There's a question about the topic we discussed. So Kweku Benti Angel says, with the 48-month extension, must you wait to get the 10-year green card to apply for naturalization, or you can still file within the 48 months? Or you can absolutely still file within the 48 months. Once you qualify for naturalization, if you're still married to your US citizen spouse, then most likely you qualify to apply for naturalization after 3 years of becoming a green card holder. Okay, so what this means is that, let's say you became a green card holder let's say in 2020. By 2023, on the 3rd anniversary, if you're still married to your wife, who's a US citizen and who gave you your green card, or who allowed you to be able to get a green card, then you can file for naturalization despite the fact that you have not removed the conditions on your green card. Your green card removal of conditions application is pending. That's fine. You can file on top of it the naturalization application. That will even cause them to adjudicate your removal of condition faster, because they would have to remove the conditions before they adjudicate your naturalization application. So that's fine. You can certainly do that. The law allows you to do that. So when you're called for an interview, what will happen is that you'll go in with your spouse, and then first they'll do the removal of conditions interview, and then move on to the naturalization interview. So you don't have to wait until you get the 10-year green card before you file for citizenship. Kwame on YouTube says, after having my green card, when can I start filing for my kids from Ghana? Immediately, immediately, immediately. As soon as you become a lawful permanent resident, you get your golden ticket. You can now you can petition for your family members. Okay. There's no wait time. You can file for your kids. You just have to make sure the birth certificates are fine, and that's normally one of the issues, that you have a contemporaneous birth certificate. I won't go into that now. Adele says, hi, I'm on my I-485 application. I received my EAD. I also received an RFE for my medical, submitted it. Do you think the interview could be waived? She's married to a U.S. citizen for 2 years, for more than 2 years. Yeah, it could be waived. It depends on the strength of your application. If the bona fides were solid, then it's likely that that could be waived. Likely, I don't know. It depends. Yeah, there's sometimes waiving. But is this the first? Normally, they have to interview you at least. They have to meet you in person. So if you are trying to remove conditions, if you file that means submission of medicals. I don't know if that will be waived. Most likely they'll call you for an interview. So yeah, you're submitting medicals, meaning it's the initial green card. Most likely you'll be called for an interview. Okay. So you should prepare that. I'm sorry, guys, I have to go. I'm feeling really very exhausted and faint. I'm starting to see stars. Yeah, most likely you'll be called for an interview. So just prepare for that. There's just so many questions on TikTok. Unfortunately, I have to go. There's just so many questions on TikTok. I need to make time for the TikTokers. They seem to have a lot of interesting questions. Okay, guys, I hope you guys have benefited from this live video. If you've enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up and comment, share, do what you need to do. Drop emojis, any type of emoji, so that the algorithm will be in our favor, and it will show, the social media channels will show our videos to more immigrants that may need our help here in the US and beyond. Thanks a lot for watching. I will see you guys in our next video. Take care. Be safe. Bye.